Toy Story 5 is the latest installment in the long-running Toy Story franchise. It's a 2026 computer animated film, distributed by Walt Disney Pictures and produced by Pixar Animation Studios, which is co-written as well as directed by Andrew Stanton, and which not only stars the voices of returning voice actors Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, and Joan Cusack as Woody, Buzz, and Jesse respectively. Also contains a host of newcomers voiced by Alexa Greta Lee, Conan O'Brien, and as well as ones who are replacing folks we've lost, including Ernie Hudson and Jeff Bennett. So, let's begin. 3 years have passed since the events of the previous installment, even longer out of universe, as the enigmatic lily pad, voiced by Greta Lee, is among the many devices are encroaching in households and thus blurring the line between screen time and playtime significantly. It falls to a bunch of toys who prove they're still worth both the attention and love of a child and the heart alike. So, may have maintained that when I first heard about the idea that the concept was sound, and it is a conversation worth having. I won't get into much detail, but I will say that the movie earns its PG rating, the first in the mainline films, not counting the Lightyear prequel spin-off they put out a bit ago. And let's just say that there's no one-size-fits-all answer to this debate, and the movie seems to understand that. Everyone is different, and every usage is different. So I was wondering what kind of antagonist that Lily would be, and I was pleasantly surprised. It seems to make it's actually an argument that that these things are not inherently good or bad on their own. It's the way they're used that's the real kicker. I mean, especially the scene where Bonnie has sent some troubling messages. I mean, someone my age and disposition and seeing that in my Overwatch chat, I can just shrug that off and think all my life. But to someone at that age and disposition, I mean, she's not just shy, she's also sensitive. Something like that can affect someone for years, potentially. Yeah. As for whether or not this latest follow-up justifies its existence both on its own merit as well as in the overall canon, that's fully for you to decide. For my decision, however, I can personally say, yes. Yes, it did. And I also honestly think it makes sense to put so much focus on Jesse this time around, and it totally resembles most of the previous installments, like the second one, which is a very good thing, I would say. And also makes sense to put a focal point like Lily has new fresh knowledge, as Woody and Buzz have experience, and Jesse is the character that honestly has both surround, and it is consistent with how she was portrayed in the previous installments, and even when things seem their bleakest, I definitely like this idea that she and the other toys live by, that she never gives up, she finds a way. It does get heavy at points. I definitely heard people of all ages getting pretty emotional in the theater I just saw this in, and since I'm taking the day off tomorrow and want to see it early, but I will say that the humor is definitely still in play as well. I especially like the idea that the smart toy being on low power, or is basically like a toy equivalent of being under the influence of something, and also that the whole army of Buzz Lightyears as a smart toy variant that washed on shore, or that's going to fuel delusions this time. Let's just say that tracks. And yes, the animators were not fooling. There were indeed 50 of them on screen, in which, alongside the fact they have realistic horses and other farm animals turn around, just showing how far things have come since the first film. And I wouldn't say, hey, I'm bolding like Woody is in this one, but a lot of them have been great. Given the circumstance, I'd say I've earned that. I'm guessing the toy going to be faded, man. Did. And I also enjoyed how a little twisted animation as well, especially with Bond's Place of Fancy looking like a lot of drawings, like even having little details like the color palette and smudges. Is in especially the idea that in a little place of fancy, Bullseye is supposed to be Alan Cumming, who is also going to be coming back for Doomsday as Nightcrawler, complete with the blue and gold suits. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. As for how it fits in with further plans, as I mentioned before, and I bears mention again, these characters have impacted the pop culture fabric in the same way that Mickey, Donald, and Minnie have in many respects. And its existence is not only a testament to the enduring legacy, but also suggests that maybe the current landscape is not completely broken, but in this specific way it's working as designed. Like, sometimes you want to make a more experimental movie about doing like a neural link with some animals, or some mobs who also happen to be cats. We'll talk on their time. I'm sometimes I had to make an anime lazy sequel, and even someone who didn't mind the last movie at all, not even the way it ended, it actually makes sense that Woody re-entered the story the same way hey, that that he actually previously departed on his terms, and I was correct in my insinuation that it was just a goodbye for now, but not forever. And if that also means if you want to do a collab with a fast casual restaurant, or put the characters in Fortnite so they would potentially be vibing with Rumi or Supergirl, then so be it. Take from someone who is wearing the same Mario hat and Inside Out shirt heard when they were at Hoppers, and incidentally, kind of the same weird ticket issue where I had to swap the seats around for the person I'm staying with because for some reason their queuing system did not like that third seat at all. I'm still not sure why. And with that in mind, and it also indicates another idea that they were hinting at. Another question being raised is that can more conventional toys coexist in a land increasingly ruled by so many technological advancements? This lays addition to my own Dynasty of Primes, and I would like to think so, personally. And I can definitely, I'm one of those people that can spend hours upon hours on their Switch 2 and their PS5. I will also still find time to be entertained by someone building a one-to-one model Koenigsegg supercar out of Lego bricks. No, I'm not making that up at all. So, it is definitely another one suggests that even as advancements and keep coming as quick as one can blink, that perhaps things all do still have value, in ways than one. And sometimes people who are in it to win it are not really the best fit for someone, but people who will do weird flights of fancy, weddings involving horse girls that also happen to involve betrayal and someone poisoning the water hole, or in this case, their wedding cake. That is definitely a nice I can appreciate. As I said before, and other ones I reviewed, I've said again, these are dramatic yet weird times. they certainly call for dramatic yet also weird entertainments. Count on that. And since there's no coming attractions this review this time around, I've got some stuff to get ready for relatives that are visiting, and I'm also getting myself prepped to watching your Supergirl next week as well. I'll definitely say this: yes, Toy Story 5 is a worthy installment in the beloved and long-running franchise and the old Pixar canon, and it's easily a one I can imagine taking over many. I can see watching again and again for years to come. Even when the other ones are on TV or on my streams, just sit down and watch them if I know I'm not doing anything for a couple hours, man. And with that in mind, I you not only have a friend in me, hey, you also have a very excellent rootin' tootin' and 4 out of 4 and 5 out of 5. And with that, I will see you all whole again after this break I'm taking this coming Friday. So take care, partners. Mm.